Hello, this is Unlimited Splash, where we get better at Magic together through a new draft every day. Today, I'm seeking revenge in traditional draft, because I did a Lorwyn best of 3 traditional draft yesterday, trying to prepare for a big paper tournament that I'm about to play in, and I got kicked around the draft table. I started out in one deck, dabbled in another deck, and then finally landed on just a pretty bad Goblins deck. So today, I'm trying my darndest to get 3 match wins and figure out this best of 3 drafting thing once and for all before my tournament. Let's jump in. All right, to start off with, we have a perfectly respectable Merfolk card, Deepway Navigator. 2/2 for 2 flash. When it enters, untap each other Merfolk you control, and if you attack with 3 other Merfolk, they all get +1/+0 until end of turn. It's good. I mean, it needs to be in the Merfolk deck, like a very dedicated Merfolk deck. But I actually don't hate taking the pretty good payoffs for an archetype and then just seeing if it's open. I rather like Tam. It's like a slightly worse giver of runes, but I think it has a much lower power ceiling than the Deepway Navigator, which can be pretty out of control. Assert Perfection would be a really good common to just start off with. We could just grab Assert Perfection and be reasonably happy with that in any green deck. But I think let's just take Deepway Navigator and let's just see if the Merfolk lane is open to us. And by the way, we could wheel either Riverguard's Reflexes or Merfolk Sky Swimmer here. And maybe Rooftop Percher. Here, I actually think Formidable Speaker can be pretty good because it enters and it lets you tutor for your best creature. And its body is like fair. It's got relevant stats. So I definitely don't hate that card. Now, I will also say, though, it's not like the most incredibly powerful card on its own. It's very possible that if you're thinking that you might go green, you should just take the Morkant's Loyalist and see if that lane is open to you. Because, if you're green, you probably would rather be elves, especially if you're playing a Formidable Speaker. And maybe Morkant's Loyalist is just better in the elf deck than Formidable Speaker. It probably is. Having said all of that, there's a great card that goes with my pick 1, which is Wanderbrine Trapper. In a vacuum, it may even be more powerful. I mean, not in a vacuum, but, in the appropriate synergistic archetype, it may even be more powerful than Formidable Speaker. And it makes more sense to me to take a massive payoff that goes along with my pick 1 rather than a card that speculates on a completely different archetype being open. Here, Collective Inferno is my kind of card. I actually love this sort of card that increases the damage that your stuff deals. However, it is very far from what we're doing, and it would be much nicer if we could just have a card that goes with our game plan. Not that we want to just laser focus on whatever we were already doing in pack 1 and pack 2, but there is a Bristlebane Outrider. There is a Weeping Willow as well. Bristlebane Outrider would go nicely with those green cards that we just passed, but we don't really have access to signals yet. Keep Out and Liminal Hold, I think, are kind of head and shoulders below the other cards. I'm kind of tempted to speculate on a green card because we're seeing all this green go by, but I actually wonder if maybe Reaping Willow is not a bad pick. I've seen this card stabilize board states like nobody's business. It has so much power and toughness and lifelink and value for the late game. And one thing I've had an issue with in my draft decks recently is being too fast, actually. Taking too many 2-drops and 3-drops and not focusing on what are you doing turns 4, 5, and 6 to win grindy board stall situations. So seeing nothing in Merfolk in the last pack, really, and seeing nothing in Merfolk in this pack, except I guess a Riverguard's Reflexes, I'm kind of wondering if I should just lean towards, let's say, some kind of Vivid situation. I may take the Foraging Wickermaw as an enabler for that over Chitinous Graspling as a terrible Merfolk stand-in or Glister Baron as a payoff. But now we're definitely in the realm of Merfolk is not seeming to be open. We're seeing absolutely no signals for that, so we need to figure out what we're doing. I could take a Temple Garden. It's possible I end up pivoting to any kind of green-white, and I will really want help with my mana. Another option is Great Forest Druid, but I think I tend to overstack on this card. I think I want to wait until I see more payoffs for Great Forest Druids. Usually in draft, you should take the enabler before you take the payoff. The other thing is I could take Unexpected Assistance, and that will go in a Merfolk deck or a Vivid deck. But the thing is that card is so replaceable that I don't think I need to invest in it right now. okay, maybe I spoke too soon because here are a bunch of fantastic merfolk. It is possible that we just did not see the merfolks in the last few packs because nobody opened them. Here we have an interesting choice. There's Silvergill Peddler, which is it's a merfolk enabler that if I don't have it, I feel the lack of it. I always like to have one. But I actually think Tributary Vaulter, it's the kind of a card that makes the entire archetype. And if I don't have Tributary Vaulters, I almost feel like I don't have a win condition. Whereas if I have 2 Tributary Vaulters, I feel like I'm on such a track to win. So we could have done something like Feed the Flames or something that keeps the Vivid Dream alive. Now I'm seeing Changeling Wayfinder and whatever. But if there's Gravelgill Scoundrel, Tributary Vaulter, Silvergill Peddler, and so on to be had, I kind of want to just jump in that lane and ride that wave. There is also Bark of Doran here, which is a card that I know is, this is like a D- card or whatever, probably in terms of like its average win rate. The thing about Bark of Doran is if you stick it on a Gravelgill Scoundrel or a Tributary Vaulter, it's no joke. Like you're attacking as a 4/4 unblockable or flyer every single turn. That is real damage right there. So the 3 lanes that definitely the person to my right, at least, and maybe the person to their right are not in, are Merfolk, Elves, and Vivid. Here we have a choice. If we end up in the Vivid deck, we're going to want as many Foraging Wickermaws as we can lay our hands on. If we end up in the Merfolk deck, we're going to want as many Shore Lurkers as we can lay our hands on. And I think the auto picker is correct. I'm just going to hew to as many Merfolk as I can pick up. This pack had no Merfolk last time around, so it's not a signal that there are no Merfolk this time around. So I'll probably just take the Riverguard's Reflexes. It is again very possible we're not going to end up in a Merfolk build, and we're going to end up in some kind of messy, maybe, let's say, Esper deck of some kind, something like that. Here I can take a Glamormite. I could take something like 10 the Springs and lean back in a Vivid direction, but let's see what our last few picks are. Glamormite is not so out of place in a Merfolk deck because the Merfolk decks tend to be very aggressive. So being able to flash in a Glamormite and tap down their blocker can be good. I really do not want to tunnel vision on Merfolk just because that was my first pick. So I'm trying to stay open. I actually wonder if I take a Dream Caesar because it's very possible that we do end up in some kind of more Jeskai controlling situation. And yeah, look at this. Like now we have more of maybe like a flying, like 3 and 4 drop flyers plan than a Merfolk plan necessarily. So it could be that we're playing more of a blue-black flying deck. And you know what a blue-black flying deck would like is a Disruptor of Currents. So Disruptor of Currents is a Merfolk that you can convoke in. So you can get value for putting it into play from your Merfolk tapping. It has flash, and when it enters, you bounce a permanent to their owner's hand. Great card. I mean, it's understated, but the fact, if you can assemble a Merfolk deck so that you are getting value from flashing in this Disruptor, it's just bonkers. This is like the most souped up mana war that they've printed. So Disruptor of Currents is going to be really happy to snap that up. I would be happy to take a Gathering Stone probably, but basically we're in some kind of Esper Fairies situation, I think. If we can grab Esper Fairies Merfolky situation, if we can grab some more Foraging Wickermaws, that kind of a thing, then I will be really happy to just take some pressure off of my mana. If we're going to be playing understated flyers that in a vacuum are not very good, like Dream Caesar and Shore Lurker, then we're going to need ways to actually resolve them and survive to that point in the game. Unfortunately, wow, this pack is just not very good, right? I don't really want another Shore Lurker. I barely want the first Shore Lurker. I think I actually do take it though. I'm not on Thoughtweft Imbuer. I guess technically, maybe there's some reason to think that green-white is open at this table. That could be true. I really don't want to play this Shore Lurker though. But I think the hope of our deck is that somehow between Merfolk and Flyers, we're getting something coherent. I just don't think that Merfolk as a pure lane is open. Maybe the only reason I have to think I'm black is these Dream Caesars, which are a terrible pull into black. So maybe we can just be blue-white Flyers. That would be a much better deck. And here we get several good cards for this. I mean, these Thoughtweft Imbuers are such a signal, but I have seen no reason to be green. We don't really care about the signal that's being sent from our left anyways. And yeah, we didn't wheel that Shimmer Creep, which was the other reason that I thought I might be playing black. So I'll take an Adept Watershaper. This card is kind of cool with the Merfolk. Like the fact that your Wanderbrine Trappers can tap on their turn, it means that you could block, tap, and make your thing indestructible so that it becomes really hard to attack you. I wouldn't mind Pestered Wellguard or Wanderbrine Preacher because they're synergistic in this deck, but getting the white rare is some kind of validation. I wonder if I do take a Nightmare Sower here. I don't know how that compares to Marrow Sky Swimmer or Foraging Wickermaw. But I have a lot of flash creatures, right? So there could be something sweet to do with like fairies, Esper fairies play only on their turn. Put in the right deck, I think a bunch of these flyers together could be good. Empirically, I think this deck turns out to not be that great usually when people put it together. But I'm someone who really likes coloring outside of the box. So I'm gonna try to see if I can put together a deck where these, typically not so good cards kind of have an opportunity to shine. Because with Nightmare Sower, you really need to be playing on their turn like a lot. So we'll see how many flash cards we end up with. I'll take an Omni Changeling. I'm thrilled to see Omni Changeling here. I have so many good things that I could Changeling copy. And by the way, it is a shapeshifter, so, it triggers my various Merfolk synergies. But now that I've spent all this time messing around with black, I have to say, Merfolk looks really open at this table. Now I just got another Meanders Guide with a Wanderbrine Preacher and a Gravelgill Scoundrel in the pack. I do worry that this amount of openness is going to feed the people to my right thinking that Merfolk is open. Again, we have seen some Kithkin cards, but again, I just don't see a signal that I'm supposed to be taking green cards. I can take a Thirst for Identity. I guess I can take a Gold Medal Nomad. None of these are pulls into red, so I'm not feeling like those are meaningful signals for me. So the question is only, are we going to do something with Foraging Wickermaw and some random understated flyers just to try to smooth out our curve or not? That's really the question for us. Okay, now we get another Appeal to Erdu. Not really a card that I want to play. But it can get you value with your Merfolk. Anything with Convoke can only be so bad in a Merfolk aggro deck. Not sure how aggressive we are, so we definitely do want to be taking cheap creatures here, 2-drops. So there is Endblaze Epiphany, which is a nice card, but I don't think I really have a reason to be splashing into red. I think I'd rather just take Unwelcome Sprite. I really like 2/1 flyers for 2 that have the option of surveilling. Gravelgill Scoundrel would be nice as well, but I don't have that much value for tapping my stuff, and I really, really, really want 2-drops. So I'm just going to go with this one. So most likely right now, I think we're playing this, not playing the Dream Caesar. No reason to play Temple Garden yet. So our deck looks something like this. I would like to find a way to not play Dream Caesar. Deep Channel Duelist is a fantastic Merfolk card. I would be happy to play Nameless Inversion. And Bloodline Bidding is kind of sweet, actually, if we ended up in black that much. But Deep Channel Duelist is just the dream. I'm thrilled to take Deep Channel Duelist. Stating a preference for Merfolk early on looks like it kind of worked out. And look, if we could get another Deep Channel Duelist, it would make our Shore Lurkers a whole lot better, right? So this is looking like a functional deck. Maybe I would put Gold Medal Nomad in, cut the Dream Caesar, and I'm looking for ways of splashing black. Voracious Tome Skimmer. If there was ever a Voracious Tome Skimmer deck, it's got to be this one, right? How many ways do I have of actually playing cards during their turn? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I mean, I do need black mana. I would definitely take some Foraging Wickermaws here, but I'd rather have that than Shore Lurker number 3. Maybe I would want Wanderwine Distractor, but I don't even have that many. I'm not like that all in on Merfolk tap synergies. I guess there's also Sundappled Celebrant. That's probably what the real other pick would be, is Sundappled Celebrant. Wow, and we're getting Sig pick 4. So here I really feel like we're getting rewarded for picking up on Merfolk's availability after trying to see if there was like an Esper Flyers lane that was more available for a while. So I think maybe we just cut Merfolk so well pack 2 that anyone a few seats to the right of us decided it's not worth trying to be Merfolk. So Sig it is. A great pickup for us here. And here we get, I mean, Personify. There's just a lot of good cards in here. So Personify is fantastic. I would play Blossom Bind. I would play Liminal Hold. I would play Riverguard's Reflexes. But it's definitely going to be Personify for us. It makes a Merfolk, and it blanks a removal spell for your opponent, and it plays on the opponent's turn. Now, the one thing is, I would play a Changeling Wayfinder. It is a Merfolk, And also it gets you a basic land and fixes your mana, which I think is really important for me here. Here I could take Rhyme Chill because it will cost 3 less pretty often. But I think I'm more likely to just want one more 2-drop, probably. This is not good in my deck. Actually, I just want a Shore Lurker. I know this card is not great, but I think I just want a Shore Lurker. Probably cut Thirst for Identity, which has like no synergies in my deck. Okay, maybe I'll cut the last Shore Lurker for a Wild Unraveling. I mean, double blue is kind of tough for the Wild Unraveling, but I think it's probably worth it. I may just cut, I think I'll just cut Nightmare Sower at this point. I'll play the Forging Wickermaw to help me cast Voracious Tome Skimmer and also to help me cast Wild Unraveling. So yeah, we won't be doing the whole completely play on their turn thing. Wow, I could get another Personify or a Changeling Wayfinder or a Feisty Spikeling could actually be good with all of my Merfolk stuff. Honestly, I guess I'll just take the Spikeling. It's very possible I was supposed to take Personify there, but I really want a high creature count. I'll probably cut the Wild Unraveling at this point, take the Silvergill Peddler. Okay, maybe we'll cut the stuff to do with like Voracious Tome Skimmers. Maybe I just am, in the end, all in on Merfolk. I'll see how I feel about that Voracious Tome Skimmer. Now we also have another Wanderwine Distractor. It could just be that I'm a classic Merfolk aggro deck. I probably cut the Feisty Spikeling now. Wanderwine Distractor is like fine in the Merfolk aggro build. So I want to see how supported the Tome Skimmer would be. It's kind of hard to cast, but how many spells do I have that I play on their turn? Maybe I've just gone too low to even care about that anymore. Oh yeah, I'm really low on spells that I cast during their turn. Okay, no way is that enough. You really need to have like way more than that. So I'll cut the Tome Skimmer. I'll probably cut the Spikeling. I think my curve is pretty good even without it. And maybe I just cut Glamormite. Keep one Wanderwine Distractor. I really do want things to do in the late-ish game. So cut one Wanderwine Distractor. Or no, cut maybe something. Yeah, cut Glamormite, keep Wanderwine Distractor. And yeah, something like this. Yeah, okay. I mean, you know, I've seen better decks, but I've also seen worse decks. So, hey, maybe this is the one that will finally break my curse and allow me to go 3-0. Let's go. If you're enjoying this this draft and you want to get better at draft right along with me, go ahead and click subscribe using the link in the description below. I do post a new draft video every single day, and my simple goal with this channel is for me and my community to be better at Limited tomorrow than we are today. That's the goal. Also to have a lot of fun playing Magic. Also to push the boundaries of my mana base as much as possible, although today I'm definitely failing at that goal. Okay, so Gravelgill Scoundrel plus Meander's Guide plus Silvergill Peddler is what I'm talking about. Would have liked that Wanderbrine Trapper in my opening hand, but hey, that's okay. You can't have everything you want in this life. So if they let me, I'll probably play the Silvergill Peddler and attack with the Scoundrel and loot. I could also just play Meander's Guide, because then I can loot and bring a creature back to the battlefield. That's so nutty. The idea is Meander's Guide. If they assert Perfection or something, I'm punished. But the idea is Meander's Guide. Then I play Silvergill Peddler, tap the Peddler to the Meander's Guide so the loot resolves and something goes to my graveyard. Then the Guide ability resolves and I bring whatever I looted back, like loot a Wanderbrine Trapper to the graveyard. Thank goodness they don't have Assert Perfection. That would have been pretty messy for me. Now, unfortunately, I can't do all of that and also have my Meander's Guide survive because they can block it. Right, and I can't play Silvergill Peddler and also appeal to Erdu in the same turn, even with Convoke. Oh well, but you also can't have everything in life, can you? So I play this card. Yeah, maybe it's just one step too fancy for right now. I can do that on a later turn. So I'll attack with Gravelgill Scoundrel and I'll tap Silvergill Peddler, draw a card and discard a card. Heck yeah. And sure, I can pitch the island, I think. Bonk in for 1 and then play a Wanderbrine Trapper. This is good synergy, right? Merfolk aggro. Merfolk aggro. So this is a target creature with a mana value 3 or less. This card is so good. It's so good. The ability to just return anything. I'm kind of surprised by that. That strongly suggests that they have an answer to Meander's Guide, right? Maybe now they have an Assert Perfection, or they had one all along, but they really wanted to play Eclipse Flamekin. It would kind of make sense. Okay, not sure how to interpret them not playing anything. So here what I want to do is, let's see. Yeah, I think I just want to do my plan, right? I'm just going to make sure I have to sequence it correctly. So I attack, I tap the Silvergill Peddler. Its ability goes on the stack. I want this one to resolve first. I'm going to draw a card, and then I will discard. Oh, Tributary Vaulter is a nice one. Then this ability goes on the stack. Really? I thought that this would resolve first, and then this one resolves after. Was this a stack ordering issue, or... Oh, it's when you do, so it's not a separate trigger and resolution. My bad, my bad. It's not a separate triggering and resolution, I guess. Okay, well, that's a shame. I guess a when you do is not like... Okay, well, hey, we learned something. We learned something today. Maybe I should have kept that in my hand for Silvergill Peddler. But okay, that's fine. That means that the next time I attack with Meander's Guide, I get to return it. It's not quite as good. But it did let me order the resolution. That's what I'm really confused about. Like, it let me order how I wanted the thing to resolve. So that's what really confuses me. It let me put Silvergill Peddler on the stack before the other trigger. So I guess I don't quite understand that. But okay. I'll play Shorelurker. I can Wanderbrine Trapper them if I want to. Oh, yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. So I can tap something down with Wanderbrine Trapper, but now I actually don't even want to, right? Now I just attack with both. Tap the Shorelurker, probably. So yeah, shouldn't it be that this... I don't know. I give up trying to understand. Yeah, I guess this all resolves all at the same time. Okay. So tap the... If you understand, let me know. I'm actually really curious now. I guess it's just when you do means that it all happens at one time. All right, well, my deck's working really well. My deck is doing exactly what I would want it to do. I get blocked by Glister Baron by one of those creatures, but then probably just untap the Shorelurker, I guess. And then I can tap Wanderbrine Trapper and something to tap down one of their creatures. I mean, I could have before, but... Yeah, then next turn I'm looking at just attacking with a whole bunch of stuff. Disruptor of Currents is looking awesome. If they play something scary here, I can play a Disruptor of Currents main phase and just bounce it. So in response to the trigger, you target something, and then I'll tap it down. I'll tap this guy, I guess, actually. So tap that thing down. Then during my turn, I can either bounce Glister Baron or tap down Glister Baron. My deck is looking awesome. My deck is looking awesome. It's playing out really nicely this time around. All right. Reaping Willow, I actually have the mana to play it. That is an important data point. I don't really feel the need to bounce anything. I guess what I can do is I can attack with everything, including the Deep Channel Duelist. And then if they block and try to pump something, then I'm going to flash in Disruptor of Currents to bounce their Glister Baron. I think it's time for me to get aggressive. Time for me to get a little aggressive. Oh, I guess I could have returned something. Maybe that was wasteful. I should have held back the Deep Channel Mentor and returned a Tributary Vaulter or something. See what they've got here. Unforgiving Aim on Shorelurker. I think I'm actually just going to allow that. I think it's fine. I could bounce my own Shorelurker, but that does not, it just does not sound so wise to me. Okay, go to damage. That's a lot of damage. And then pass. And then I can untap Wanderbrine Trapper. Then let's see, I can flash in Disruptive Currents. Yeah, but I can't Convoke and have another Merf and have this Merfolk untapped and have 1 mana up, unfortunately. Okay, you can attack if you want to. I honestly don't mind. It would be scary to me if they do attack. Okay, now I'll flash this guy in. I mean, it is technically showing them an extra card, but let's just try flashing this guy in, and I'll bounce Glisterbairn. See what they've got. I mean, it could be a lot for 6 mana. Glen Elendra's Answer. Yeah, I'm not a believer in this card. It's a 1/1 that flashes in and counters a spell. Not the best rate I've ever seen. So I will tap down Glisterbairn here with probably, yeah, Deep Channel Duelist is not going to be attacking. And then I will attack with these two. And this is a kind of a card that I want to be good. Play a 1/1 and it counters something. That sounds kind of sweet to me. Okay, this would have let me play Reaping Willow and activate it all at once, but it doesn't because I paid one of my mana. Once again, I did not activate Meander's Guide. I keep not doing that. Here, I wonder if I just don't play this. I probably should play it. I don't think there's a board wipe that I need to be thinking about here, so I'll do this and I'll untap, let's say, the Peddler. Just the thing with the most toughness. So they can crack in with a chunky fairy here. I keep not getting flyers, which is definitely a mistake. I should have held some creatures back and used my Meander's Guide to more effect in this match. This would be an issue for me, but Wanderbrine Trapper can tap it down. And by the way, I can bring back my unblockable creature, I think. No, did that get exiled or something? Where is it? Oh yeah, it got Blossom Binded, but I can bring back my Tributary Vaulter. Yeah. And then tap it to Meander's Guide to bring back, well, Unwelcome Sprite. That sounds pretty awesome. And also pump something. Oh, Temporal Cleansing on Meander's Guide. I'll definitely put that on top. That card's pretty good. And then you pump something. So I have lethal on the board. All right. So I will tap that with Deep Channel Duelist. I will activate Reaping Willow to give it 3 power. Bring back, sure, Tributary Vaulter. And then I just attack with 2 3-power creatures, and that should be GG. Okay, what are we doing on sideboard? I mean, just staying fast, right? Getting as fast as we can possibly be. That's the name of the game. Getting as fast as we can be. Yep. So I wonder if I put in like Glamormite instead of... Now they know to play around Appeal to Erdu, so let's cut that. And then maybe instead of Glamormite, it's actually Feisty Spikeling? Nah, that's not good against their deck. Yeah, I kind of like this move. I don't know about Reaping Willow. Maybe I just want a Wanderwine Distractor, or maybe I just want another Shore Lurker. Flying seemed pretty good there. Let's try this. Something like this seems good. Let's try it. And yeah, I want the 9 plains, 8 islands because I have the 2 really good 1-drops in white. Yeah. Sounds good to me. Sounds good to me. Okay. Well, this is a clear mulligan, right? Classic best of 3 hand. Oh, this is really bad as well. I guess I put back Disruptor of Currents and keep this hand. I have technically some 3-drops. This is a rough one. I really need to see my 8 islands now. I really need to see my 8 islands. Yeah, that's really rough. I don't know. I didn't want to go to 5. Oh my goodness. Well, at least I get to play Meander's Guide. And then technically I can personify to save my Meander's Guide if that comes up, or play another one. Meander's Guides can loop each other, by the way. I can bring back Meander's Guide with Meander's Guide. If I can get an island, I'm still feeling pretty good. I could play Sig holding up Personify. That feels like a really good turn 4. But yeah, Blossom Bind on Meander's Guide is really bad for me. Then I cannot loop them. Okay, well, that gives me hope because I can personify. Personify is an awesome answer to Meander's Guide. Kind of makes me wish. Yeah, Sig, I don't get the ETB, so maybe I shouldn't have played Sig there. But I really like the idea of just starting to flip it and everything. Let's personify Sig later, maybe during my turn. Is that right? So that I get the ETB? Actually, hold on. I really want to test something here. I'm gonna test something. This is a test. I'm prepping for a tournament here, so I want to know what happens. I think there's something weird here. So Sig is gonna trigger, right? I'm gonna pay for its trigger, and then I give something protection. So I'll give Meander's Guide protection, and then does the enchantment fall off, or can it just not be put on the first time? Yeah, the enchantment falls off. That's what I thought. So yeah, that's not a good answer to Sig. Yeah, so I'm pretty pleased that I saw that line because now Sig can just fix itself. No need to personify. Yep. That's kind of a sweet line. Okay, that's really good to know for paper Magic. I would have had to call a judge and like make sure because I was pretty sure the enchantment should fall off. Protection is can't be blocked, targeted, dealt damage, enchanted. So enchanted is like one of the things, or equipped. Yeah. So yeah, don't do that. Don't Blossom Bind in response to Sig because it can just target itself. I guess you can do it as like a speed bump to your opponent, but just know that your thing is going to fall off. So I'm not even going to spend Personify here. Doesn't really make sense to me. So I'll flip this guy. And let's give the Unwelcome Sprite the ability. Should be able to draw a card. I'll just attack with Unwelcome Sprite. And the next turn, Sig can give itself protection from blue. Well, from everything, right? Okay, now if they run away together, do I want to personify my guy? No, because I can just recast it, so I don't really care about that. Yeah, they do get some incremental value from this, but honestly, do I even recast the Unwelcome Sprite? Yeah, because suppose they like kill Sig because they're afraid of it giving itself protection next turn. Then I have double Meander's Guide, so they can just bring Sig right back. And it would happen before combat, so I would get the Enters effect to make something draw a card. Yeah, this is kind of awesome. I'm feeling really good about this. All right, I'll flip Sig. It's going to give itself pro everything, and goodbye Blossom Bind. Thank you, Sig. That was superb. Really glad I was past this Sig. I bullied everyone out of Merfolk so that I could do this kind of thing. All right, in with all of these guys. I will not be doing any... I can't... Oh, no, I won't be tapping this thing. It gives your other tapped creatures indestructible, so... Tapping it doesn't even make it indestructible, so no reason to tap. And yeah, we're holding up our Personify. We have a Sig in play. I think our board presence is pretty grotesque. Feeling pretty good about my deck. We'll see if it's worth a 3-0. By the way, the thing that I didn't mention about 3-0s, the reason that I jammed 6 traditional drafts in Avatar and got 2-1 in all of them, I was trying to 3-0 so that I could get play-in points. And play-in points let you play in the Arena Championship qualifiers without having to spend your gems or your gold. So I really, really want to do that. And so I am looking for those play-in points. So I really want to 3-0 this event so that I can get some play-in points. You need to win 10 events. You need to get 3-0 in 10 traditional drafts to get play-in points. And I'd like to do that before there's like a Arena Champs qualifier weekend that is going to happen here. I guess I will just personify this guy. It's time to just capitalize on my board advantage, and I get to surveil. It's going to happen like, it's going to be entirely limited, I think. There's going to be a limited focused one. Maybe I do want to play the Tributary Vaulter. I don't know. Actually, no, here's what I do. Here's what I do. This should actually work. Unlike my last scheme with this, I'm going to play the Shore Lurker, mill the Tributary Vaulter off of it, attack with the Meanders Guides, and bring back the Tributary Vaulter. And then I can probably tap the Tributary Vaulter to the other Meanders Guide trigger and give something +2/+0. So this is why I love the Merfolk deck. I think it's awesome. It just does the silliest shenanigans you can imagine. I will put this on probably Unwelcome Sprite. I will play this guy. I will mill my Tributary Vaulter. This is too good. This is too good. Mill this guy. Yeah. Yeah. All right. So we did some pretty awesome shenanigans. Feeling very good about that. Quite a quick 1-0. And it's on to the next one. All right. Hopefully our deck continues to be great in the 1-0 bracket. I think this hand is pretty good. Foraging Wickermaw is really awkward in my deck. I actually should look at whether I should take that one out. It's mostly to help play the tree, I guess. It's like definitely one clunker that doesn't really belong in the deck at all. But Deep Channel Duelist is a good one. Meander's Guide is a good one. I'll probably open with the Wickermaw just to not get the Duelist removed immediately. Okay, the opponent is either mono red or having some mana issues. I will mill a Merfolk, a cheap Merfolk. I'll just mill into the bin because that's such a threat with Meander's Guide. A Plains, I actually want to keep, right? I actually want that. Kind of concerned about not getting enough lands. I want like my 5th land, and then I want to draw no more lands. Okay, the opponent's on their mana. Noggle Robber. Okay, sure. Sure thing. Then I'll play this guy, and then next turn I can play an Omni Changeling if need be. Yeah, Noggle Robber is an interesting one, so I feel like they're not just red-white. That makes me think it's not Boros aggro. All right, there we go. Confirmation. Wow. So they start out with 2 red, then they drew a white, played Noggle Robber getting a treasure, then they drew a blue. This is something else. Kulrath Mystic, okay. That guy's kind of chunky. It can be chunky. Yeah, time to stop drawing lands now, please. Thank you. Maybe I just play Omni Duelist, and then I can appeal to Erdu. Can also, sorry, Deep Channel Duelist. Actually, you know what I kind of want to do? It's just get chunky. Deep Channel Duelist into Omni Changeling. Yes, they'll crack in for 7 next turn, but then my stuff is so huge. Kind of just want to do, I don't know, is that foolish? Maybe I just stay back for appeal to Erdu. Yeah, maybe tapping everything for the Omni Changeling is a tempo play that the world does not need. You know what? I'm going to do it because then I can untap 2 creatures at the end of my turn. So I'll make another Deep Channel Duelist, untap both of my guys, and maybe that looks like enough of a threat to them. Like, I have a lot of blockers technically. I guess I'm not really blocking anyways, even if I didn't play this. So I think this was a good play. Specifically because now I can untap my stuff and I'm not just like a total sitting duck. But we'll see. I mean, suppose I have like bounce something to the top. And then they're cracking in with a 3/3 and a 4/4. Well, no, because Meander's Guide. Well, I don't want to trade Meander's Guide. And I also don't want to trade off the Omni Changeling because Meander's Guide can't bring it back. But okay, next turn, hopefully. Okay, let's see. Yeah, let's just take for now because I have appeal to Erdu plus Wanderwine Distractor up. I don't think I'm going to be taking a zillion damage forever. Technically, I could supposedly get value by trading off the Deep Channel Duelist and then Meander's Guiding next turn, but that's probably foolhardy. Because they could so easily just have a Flames, whatever, the 4-mana deal 5 to just sink my Meander's Guide here. Or exile any of my other stuff. Soul Immolation. Holy smokes. So wait, what just happened? Wow. That's the board wipe. Wow. That's catastrophic for me. Okay, well, I'll definitely need to play around that next time. Yeah, there's a reason this is a Mega Bomb Mythic Rare. Yep, too bad. Wow. The one-sided board wipe. Yep. Well, I'll take it. Wow. I don't even know what to say about that. I mean, now they just play anything. Yeah, cool Jeskai control deck, I guess. I was not expecting the mythic one-sided board wipe, I have to say, when I played my Omni Changeling out. I was expecting to just get beaten down. So that's going to be very annoying. We have to win 2 more matches, and they have a Flitterwing Nuisance, and we have to win 2 more games against this person. So we're going to be playing around Soul Immolation. Why did you just do that? I don't understand. You have a way of blighting is what that means. They have a way of blighting. Okay. Very good. They have some way of blighting. Okay. Because otherwise there's just no possible reason that you would just rip the counter off main phase. Or they have some 6-drop here and they're just trying to put as much pressure on as possible, but I don't even know what that 6-drop could be. So they have some way of blighting. All right, let's see what it is. Okay. I'll block. I don't know if this is a pump spell or a removal spell or what. Okay. You make a treasure. And then what? Crib Swap, one of the worst cards that you could play. Okay, I could personify it to save Unwelcome Sprite, but then my Wanderwine Distractor dies. I see what I can do. So I can appeal to Erdu, tapping their Noggle Robber. Like, let them Crib Swap this. And then tap the Wanderwine Distractor on their Noggle Robber to play appeal to Erdu. I kind of want to flicker this because they're saying that their game plan is just killing my Unwelcome Sprite. The thing about that is, though, I have Disruptor of Currents, triple Shore Lurker. So I have, and a Gleamermite and a Tributary Vaulter. So this whole, like, kill me with flyers is not, like, probably the best game plan. So I'm going to do this, and I'm going to shrink your Noggle Robber, and I'm going to Surveil too, and I'm just going to try to find a flyer. Yeah, I'll probably just put both of those in the bin, because neither of them has flying. Right? Technically, I could try to outrace them, but with the Adept Water guy, but let's just try to get them this way. Thankfully, I get a 1/1 Changeling back, which is very relevant. All right, let's see. Let's see what the luck of the draw has. We got rid of 2 stinkers. Okay, Meander's Guide is a fantastic draw. Fantastic draw. That's a really good one. So Crib Swap exiled my guy, right? So I don't think I have a flyer in the bin, but I could bring back Adept Water Shaper. I could bring back a Meander's Guide, bring back a Duelist. Yeah, we have a lot here. The fact that this is a Changeling is so important because it means I can tap it to Meander's Guide, right? Now, I am on a 4-turn clock, but I'm crashing in for 8 next turn. I have them on a 2-turn clock, unless they, play a blocker here, which is obviously very possible. Their own Adept Water Shaper, okay? Sure. And a Chaos Spewer, and you can pay 2. Wow, that's really good. So they just drew both of those? Dang. That's really good. So I guess the reason that they ripped their counter off of the Flitterwing Nuisance was because they wanted to play Crib Swap and the Pump Spell. So what do we do here? I can bring back Deep Channel Duelist, shrink this guy. I need blockers, though. I need 2 blockers. So I can chump here. Oh, I can personify something and snap up one of their creatures by blocking Wanderwine Distractor into the Water Shaper, for example. And I make a 1/1 which can chump block. Okay, so I don't need to worry about blockers exactly. I can't... If I attack with the guide, though, it will die unless I bring back Deep Channel Mentor here. So, okay. I'm going to attack. I'm going to give... probably this guy can get -3. I'll tap this, and I'm going to bring back the Deep Channel Mentor. Could also bring back Adept Water Shaper. That's kind of sweet. My own Adept Water Shaper. And then play a Wanderbrine Trapper. Is that better? Actually, maybe it is. Because then whatever they do, they can't kill any of my creatures. Nah, because I really want their stuff to die. I'm going to bring back Deep Channel Mentor. This also lets me untap a creature, which is so important. Because I can get a chump blocker. Just keep putting pressure on the board. I just really want their stuff to have to die if it gets into combat. If they kill my Meander's Guide, I guess I'm punished. Kind of. No, then I'm just going to personify it for sure. For sure. Okay. Interesting. Very interesting. So I feel like I have a potential for lethal here. So my idea is I'm just going to untap like the Wanderbrine. I have all of the blockers that I need on the ground. I probably do just flicker. By the way, Wanderbrine Trapper means I'm not facing lethal anymore. It means I'm not facing lethal anymore, so I don't need to spend Personify here to just try to push lethal. The Trapper can tap down their Flitterwing Nuisance on my turn. On their turn, before they attack me. In future turns, right? So now probably I just bring back the Water Shaper. Wow, if we survive Soul Immolation 4-for-1, I'm going to be really proud of my deck. I'm going to be really proud of my deck. And then I'm going to be really relieved when we go to match 3 when I don't have to play around Soul Immolation. All right. I'll take the Nuisance. It's certainly a nuisance. Sizzling Changeling, I can accept. All right, go to my turn. So this Trapper needs to tap them. I think what we should do is attack, tap the Duelist. I'm going to give, let's say, yeah, maybe Sizzling Changeling -3. And tap the Duelist. And I'm going to bring back the guy that makes my stuff indestructible. I could bring back a Gravelgill Scoundrel, but it's not even that short a clock. So let's bring back this guy. All right. So my stuff is indestructible. They do not have good blocks here. I assume they'll block something. They can just chump something with the Changeling. And then what happens? Then Wanderbrine Trapper taps the Nuisance on their turn. I untap something. I'll probably untap my Distractor here. And then I flicker something, make a 1/1, and that's my chump blockers. If I'm them, I probably just don't block. Try to find a removal spell for Wanderbrine Trapper, and I don't know what. I don't know what they have in their deck. For all I know, they have another Soul Immolation, or they have a way of flashing it back. For all I know. For all I know. All right. Kill that guy. Crash in for 4. Yeah, that makes sense to me. That's the kind of playing to your outs style of block. Makes good sense. Flame Chain Mauler. Menace could be annoying. Well, I'll end the turn, and I'm going to untap my Distractor here. Now let's see what you've got. Before we go to attacks, I will tap your Flitterwing Nuisance for sure. All right. Tap the Nuisance. I could also tap... Oh, actually, maybe that was not best. I could have tapped the Distractor, tapped Chaos Spewer, and given the Nuisance -3/-0. But I guess I could actually die in that situation if they attack and they have some really big pump spell. Oh, they can give something trample, perhaps? I wonder. Looks like maybe they can give something trample. Or they're just hoping like have a heart attack. Well, I don't know if something gives +3 and trample. I can't think of what it is. So I'm just going to block and block. Or +2 and trample. You know what? Just in case it's +2 and trample, I'm going to block like this. And then we just trade off all of our stuff. All of our water shapers die. Let's see. There's no lightning strike in the format. Oh, there is Tweeze. They could have tweezed me. I forgot about that. I was at Tweeze HP. Okay. Yeah, I kind of want Wild Unraveling, and I kind of want Glimmermite if you're doing this kind of a thing. Probably cut the Reaping Willow. Maybe cut Appeal to Erdu. Now that they saw it, they'll play around it. I kind of like the idea of being able to counter their board wipe if they find it. And just having some more flying interaction. Yeah, kind of like this idea. Let's go with this. All right, we survived the mythic one-sided board wipe with our sheer quality of Merfolk synergy. Now we just need to convert one more game, and we're up 2 wins. Oh, that's so bad. I mean, I have 2 2-drops, and one of them surveils too. I have to keep it, right? It's so bad, though. I really want to be beating down, and this is what I get. Yeah, okay. Well, that's not a land, so I guess I can't complain too much. The opponent is on the mulligan, right? Foraging Wickermaw, they do get to surveil, and they're fixed in colors. But that does make me feel a little bit better. Them being on the mulligan, not that I ever root for my opponents to have mana problems, obviously. But them being on the mulligan means that these extra lands are hurting me less because it's as if I like mulliganed, right? It's a little bit better because, you know, more mana is better. Having a land in your hand is better than having nothing in your hand, but I feel good about the fact that I drew 2 non-lands. That really helps. Okay, you're going to blight onto the 1/3 probably. Yeah. So I cannot play Disruptor of Currents, only next turn. So I guess I just attack. I'm certainly not going to be chumping Chaos Spewer. And then end of your turn, I'll flash in Deepway Navigator. It's a little rough. I mean, I can also Wild Unraveling if you do something scary, which you very well might. And then Disruptive Currents is going to bounce the Chaos Spear on your turn. That's my idea. And all the while, I'm going to be surveilling a million. All right, take 5 damage. Yeah, that's a chunk of damage. And then whatever you play, I'm going to counter, almost certainly. Yeah, that guy is getting very countered. Surveil 2 as a cast trigger. And they could have anything here because they can filter for mana, but they also could just have nothing. It gives you a stop. So I'll probably put both of these in the bin. I just think they're kind of small ball. It gives you a stop when you have the Foraging Wickermaw out, I guess in case it's relevant to change the color of the Wickermaw. So yeah, here I can Disruptor Currents on your turn. So I think I'll just do that rather than messing around with Foraging Wickermaw Deepway Navigator nonsense. But that means that I cannot attack because I have to convoke this guy out, which should look suspicious to the opponent, by the way. Yeah, and I can't... I'm not just going to spit my whole hand out this time. All right, they could have a counter because they have filtering. I do get another cast trigger. Yeah, I'm not going to spit my whole hand out because they do, by the way, have this little thing called a Mythic Board Wipe. I guess Silvergill Peddler is also not that great for me. Do I actually want... I don't want the land. Maybe I want the Silvergill Peddler so that I can go Foraging Wickermaw plus a Deepway Navigator. Not really. I kind of want something big. A big blocker kind of a thing. I don't have any way of tapping the Silvergill Peddler, so that's probably the tiebreaker. Just put that in the bin. I can't tap it. I'm playing my only Convoke card right now. So I'll bounce Chaos Spewer, and then you do get to recast it. Or you'll counter this, and then I'm in trouble. Then I'm going to 10. All right, it resolves, but we'll see if this thing actually does get bounced. So they can recast it, sack their Wickermaw, and then I'm not even getting damage in. Rhyme Fire Torque, what? Yeah, don't play this card in limited, folks. When a permanent you control the chosen type enters, put a charge counter on it. Remove 3 charge counters from it when you next cast an instant or sorcery spell. So you need to play 3 elementals, and then you get to copy an instant. And then you have to play 3 elementals again. So this is like, just compare this to how good it is to just play an instant. This is like, you have to do all this setup, and then you get to play an instant, only if you have an instant. Okay, so I will play the Deep Channel Duelist and attack. I mean, this kind of looks scary and board wipey to me, but they do need to play a creature to get the board wipe in, and I think I need to just start doing stuff and being active. So I'll play this guy for sure, and crack in for 6. I'm kind of scared that they didn't play this. I wonder if it's because they don't want to blight. Maybe they have something that they want to fix their mana for. That's very possible. I mean, I'm all for like making things that shouldn't work, but I think this is a card that is so, this is even outside the bounds of what I'm willing to spend my gems trying to do. Yeah, it's looking scary. It's looking board wipey, isn't it? Okay, let me look up that card and just remind myself of how this works, how this board wipe works. Soul Immolation. So, oh, Runaway Together. Okay, no, that actually explains it better. It could be just not a Soul Immolation. All right, go to damage, and then I guess I'll just play the Sprite. And then untap this guy. So Soul Immolation, it costs 3 and 2 red. As an additional cost, you have to blight X. And X can't be greater than the greatest toughness among creatures you control. And it deals X damage to each opponent and each creature they control. So you would need to play this card and then also blight 4. This card can only blight 2. So here, yeah, let's just crack in with these 2. Not much else to do. I wonder if I just play Forging Wickermaw, because the Surveil is almost as good as a card. Glamormite is an awesome one. Very happy to draw that. Yeah, very happy to draw that. And then I'll untap this guy. All right, we'll see if they, I mean, if they play a land and play this guy, then I have to start thinking board wipe, right? Even if they just play this guy and don't play a land, then I have to probably start holding my stuff back. It's a little awkward because I can't really attack into that. I guess I can attack Disruptive Currents into it. I wonder if they're just going to pop their Sizzling Changeling looking for the board wipe or looking for a land to play the board wipe if they have it. They do have 30 cards left in their deck, so... Okay, Feisty Spikeling. But there's still one more card in their hand that I don't know. I wonder if their idea with this is to is to double the board wipe. So now if they play another elemental, they could double their board wipe. That would be really funny. Let's see if that's how they're thinking. I'm going to offer to trade Disruptor of Currents here. Yeah, I wonder if the last card in their hand is Soul Immolation, and their idea is to copy it. But the problem is they still need to play another elemental and find another land for them to be able to play that and copy it. That sounds like a tall order. If they double block with the Changeling and the Wickermaw, I don't really mind. It does let them see another card. But I have Glamormite and Deepway Navigator at instant speed if I want. So I have a pretty short clock in the air. The moment I see what's in their hand, either they play out their hand or they don't, right? So I traded a 4/4 for a 3/2 that gives them back a card. Not ideal. They would be justified in making fun of me for that. Let's see what this card is. Do you have a board wipe? You could blight 3 and board wipe me. Chaos Spewer. Okay. Now I'm just going to go for the kill in the air, right? Pass to attackers. End of turn. Play this guy. Tap that guy down. Tap down Chaos Spewer, I mean. Wow. No, I don't want that. Deepway Navigator, I could play it, but attacking would not give me the bonus. So I don't think there's much reason to, especially if I think they might board wipe. But then again, getting more... Well, it is going to be a 3/2, so actually maybe I just do it here and I'm just going aggro. The thing is, like, the Servile 2 is close enough to drawing a card because I just could have so many bad cards. I think I'll put this one on top and then not play it, actually, so that post-board wipe I have something. Because they don't really have anything post-board wipe. I'll probably keep the Gravelgill Scoundrel. Unblockable after I get them low could be really good, right? That could be really good. So yeah, I'm going to play this, and then I'm just going to go in with the team. Maybe I hold back Deep Channel Duelist, but attack with a 3/3 Deepway Navigator, 2 flyers, and a 1/3. Sounds good. Oh, maybe they have a counter. Do they have a counter? They might have Wild Unraveling. But they could have a lot of different stuff because they have any... Okay, Wild Unraveling, sure. Okay, they don't have a board wipe. That gave me all the information I need. Now I'm going to just play my Wanderwine Distractor and be happy. Attack, attack, attack. Yes, they do not have a board wipe. You wouldn't do that if you had a board wipe. So, unless it was like a 4-dimensional genius play, which it definitely could have been. Definitely could have been. Maybe they're just baiting my Wanderwine Distractor out, baiting out one more card. Could be. Could always happen. So we'll see if this is the board wipe. It is not. Okay. All right, folks. Well, I haven't won yet, but I feel that we're pretty close. Yep. All right. Good match, too. I like my deck quite a lot. And wow, I feel really pleased that we managed to fight our way through a Soul Immolation. It's not every day that you fight through Soul Immolation, is it? So that's pretty sweet. All right. Very good. Very good. On to match 3. All right. I actually had to step away from the computer last night, so I'm coming back to this the next day with fresh eyes. I do think this is a tough hand to keep. I mean, it is traditional draft, so I want to be a little bit more cautious about mulliganing. But if I look at my deck, dang, I really need blue mana, yeah? So having no 2-drop and no blue, I think is a non-starter. All right, very good. This is a much better hand, and I think I'm just going to put back Personify, kind of like having all these other cards. All right, yep, I'll keep this one, put back Personify, and start with an island, I guess. I don't think I have any double pips. Oh, no, I do have double blue for Disruptor of Currents, but it has Convoke, and same exact thing for Omni Changeling. I'm going to open with the Gravelgill Scoundrel, then Sig is going to be totally sweet on Gravelgill Scoundrel, right? That's an awesome draw. I can play Sig, tap it for the Scoundrel. They don't actually have counter mana. And I will tap it here because they could have the flash, the 2/2 flash creature for, they could pay the blue cost. And we get to draw a card back. So I'm loving that. Oh, I have triple white for some reason. Yeah, I probably shouldn't have put this in my deck after sleeping on it. Not that I was thinking about that all night, but yeah, I probably should not have put that one in my deck. I think I do want to transform it because I want to get it back to the other mode as quickly as possible. It's legendary, so I can't copy it with Omni Changeling. This would put me off Shore Lurker this turn. I wonder if I just don't do it. Kind of feel like I want to not do it and just crack in with Sig. Like, yeah, I want to draw a card again as quickly as possible, but I think it's too much of a speed block to not get to play Shore Lurker. I guess maybe I should have tapped the Shore Lurker to the Scoundrel. Here, I don't know. Am I just looking for a white to... Yeah, it's kind of... If I put this in the bin, it makes Reaping Willow better, right? I mean, this card's awesome, but I don't have a huge need for it. I guess I could have played this, flipped Sig, and played Deepway Navigator. That could have been a good turn. Kind of just want mana, though. I kind of just want to find a Plains to be able to play Reaping Willow. And, like, flip Sig and play my other stuff. Yeah, I do want to accelerate back to drawing a card as soon as possible, but I think I'd rather just be playing on curve. Here, no, I kind of just want to play Wanderwine Distractor, right? Like I'm cracking in for 5. Sounds pretty good. I actually wonder if I just Omni Changeling. It can't be blocked. Okay, phew, when they highlighted it, my heart skipped a beat. I was like, did I misread my card? Holy smokes. When they highlighted it, I actually got nervous. I was like, did I just misread my Sig and throw it away? Ugh, they scared me. I mean, it makes sense. I guess they're just double checking in the client that they can't block it. Or they didn't. I mean, it's a lot of text as well. Or they're just double checking what Wanderwine Distractor does. Yeah, I mean, you know, I think I'm the beat down, but they have some beating down to do here, don't they? I can take 7. Wow. It's almost as much damage as I've done to them total. Yeah, I'm not going to chump block, right? I'll take the 7. I guess it makes sense. Like, they're just getting counterplay. I wonder if they have... Okay, a Reaping Willow. Interesting. Our decks are very similar, aren't they? So, what if I just Omni Changeling their Reaping Willow? So, I would... Well, hold on. I can attack with Wanderwine Distractor, Shore Lurker, and Sig, and then play an Omni Changeling on the Reaping Willow, but then I can't activate it. Yeah, this is an interesting spot. I mean, holding back blockers is just not good here, right? It's just not good. I wonder if I'm just going to chump block with the Gravelgill Scoundrel. I mean, I'm crashing in for 7, 8, 9. I have them almost dead. And then maybe I just put an Omni Changeling on my Shore Lurker. This puts them to 6, but then I have 6 in the air plus my unblockable Sig. I'm not going to pay this. I like unblockable here. And then, yeah, I kind of just want to... I mean, there's also this guy. So if I attacked with this, this, and this, it would add 3 damage, which would be lethal. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That would be lethal, so they actually have to block. Okay, I actually like this. I actually like this line quite a lot. It sets me up a little bit less. But then I can go attack, 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 attack. Tap the Deepway Navigator. And they have to block Wanderwine Distractor. And then I'm just saying you have to deal lethal next turn, right? So I'll tap Deepway Navigator. Give this guy -3 to shut down lifelink. Make this guy unblockable. You do have to block Wanderwine Distractor, right? You can't block Sig. You can't block Gravelgill Scoundrel. You have to jump. I don't think there's anything for 1 blue. Yeah. Okay. So we snapped up the Reaping Willow, and hopefully we're now representing lethal next turn. I liked that attack. I think that was correct, playing Deepway Navigator. My brain was just so fixated on mana efficiency that I kind of thought, it just didn't occur to me to only spend 2 mana. I kind of felt like I had to play one of my more expensive spells. But no, Deepway Navigator was just the most powerful one. Okay. Reaping Willow is just good. That's just a good card. I like Shore Lurker a lot there. I did not like my Reaping Willow. It's a good card, but I wonder if I just play Shore Lurker. And then this card's kind of random at that point. Maybe I cut this for a Spikeling. Kind of like this. Just get a little bit more streamlined. Yeah. Okay. Seems good. Honestly, this probably should have been the version of the deck the whole time. Reaping Willow is good and all, but it's more of a control card, right? My deck is super aggro. I don't think Reaping Willow is really where I should be. Ugh. This keeps happening to me. Adept Water. If my first play is Adept Water Shaper, it's like pretty useless, right? This is a mulligan. I'm almost certain. You don't want to wait until turn 3 to do anything and then play an Adept Water Shaper. Yeah, this is a much better hand. I will put back probably Shore Lurker, Wanderbrine, Gravelgill, and then turn 3 I can play Omni Changeling. I don't really want to play Omni Changeling turn 3. So I actually wonder if I put back Gravelgill. No way. Okay, I'll do this. I don't know if that's exactly correct. Evolving Wilds, interesting. Are they going to fetch something? Yeah, I was wondering if they would fetch something that's not a white or blue. So do they just have, yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe they're like not such an aggressive Merfolk build. So they don't mind like tripping themselves a little bit with an Evolving Wilds to ensure that they get both of their colors. Could be. Timid Shield Bearer. Okay, so they're actually not like all in on Merfolks. I think if you are playing Tributary Vaulter, though, which they were, you want to do as little of this kind of thing as possible. Because if the Tributary Vaulter isn't buffing something, it's terrible, right? A 1/3 flying for 3. Okay, Meander's Guide. All right, so then I'll play this guy. I almost want to play a Meander's Guide, but what I'm going to do is just start crashing in for 3 and ask them to... It's not exactly asking them to... find an answer because, or demanding that they have an answer, because they technically can be attacking me for 5 every turn, especially if they somehow kill Wanderbrine Trapper. But at least I'm dealing damage. Well, let's see what they got. Okay, in with 2 creatures. I mean, Wanderbrine Trapper is good and all, but kind of feel like I do just block Meander's Guide, partly because I can Omni Changeling a Meander's Guide. So if they kill it here with Airdo or whatever, Noggle the Mind, okay, sure. Then I can copy their Meander's Guide, and now I get to start attacking. So what I'm going to do is... Oh, how do I do this? But yeah, I get to attack and bring back my Wanderbrine Trapper, hopefully. That's the idea. But I have to do this correctly. So honestly, maybe I just attack with the Scoundrel without buffing it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, actually, no. Sorry, I see. It took my slow brain a while to compute how I'm supposed to do this, but now I get it. Tap, 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 tap. I was like, I know that there's a way to do this. I know there's a way to tap Tributary Vaulter, get my attack in, and also play both of my creatures. Just had to work it out. I don't need to tap anything, no. And bonk. All right. So we have the Merfolk team online. We'll just see if they can, you know, do better. Noggle the Mind, by the way, same category as Crib Swap. It's just not good to play these cards that leave your opponent with a 1/1. Even if they somehow perform great in one set, that's still the heuristic I will go into the next set with. Okay. Now, do I have a reason to block with Gravelgill Scoundrel here? I mean, it just gives them an opportunity to kill my stuff, so I'm just going to say no. I have Wanderbrine Trapper, so I'm pretty confident I'm the beatdown. Timid Shield Bearer, okay. And Gravelgill Scoundrel, okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to Trapper tapping their Shield Bearer probably, because I don't really want to trade off Meander's Guide. And I'll tap Tributary Vaulter, buffing this guy. Now, unfortunately, if they get something in the bin, they do get to attack with it. And no, I don't care to make that unblockable. But now Wanderbrine Trapper can block Meander's Guide, although if they're able to buff their team, then I could be in a lot of trouble here. But I do have them at 8. I will play a land. Yeah. I could be in trouble here, though. I was somehow just one step slower than them, I guess. Well, not really. I mean, maybe I'm in the driver's seat right now. If they play a land, though, being able to buff everything is big game. But I'm cracking in for 4 unblockable every turn, so maybe I can just start blocking. right? So I have a flyer plus Gravelgill Scoundrel. Yeah, but I need the resources. Okay, so they do have the land, so they can deal 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. But I would just take it and crack back. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see if they end up attacking with everything. I do have the benefit of evasion, but I have the downside of lower impact creatures, I guess. Oh, Morningtide's Light. Yeah, this is the spot where Morningtide's Light is really good. It's a falter, right? Not a Wrath of God. Yeah, that was a good Morningtide's Light. Okay, what do I want to copy? You know, I technically could copy Timid Shieldbearer. That kind of seems good, right? Let's do that one this time. Okay, Sig is an interesting one. Yeah, I'll play Sig, and then I think my game plan is just to tap down a bunch of their stuff. So technically, though, well, I'm not going to draw a card off of this, but I will be able to tap down their creatures. Yeah. Yeah, playing Sig was a little awkward, but that's okay. So before combat, I'm just going to tap Gravelgill Scoundrel and Meander's Guide, and then maybe I'll line up blocks on the Shield Bearers. Okay, so I need to or actually no, Meander's Guide is fine, right? So I'll tap this guy. You're not going to be blocking. And then I'll tap. Well, what are my blocks going to look like? Maybe I let them attack with the rest of these creatures. So next turn, my plan would be attack with Gravelgill Scoundrel, Tributary Vaulter, and Sig, and Pump. Which means Wanderbrine Trapper is the non-essential card here. Yeah, maybe I should have let them attack with the Scoundrel, because Gravelgill Scoundrel plus Tributary Vaulter is 3, 4 damage, and then Sig is 5, 6, so if I pump, that's lethal. Do I need Tributary Vaulter there? Yes. Do I need Timid Shieldbearer there? Yes. But I am in a position where I'm going to have to chump block stuff. Okay, so maybe I'll do like a less intense version of that. I think Tributary Vaulter is the important one, because Sig can't be blocked. So let's tap, let's say, one of your Timid Shieldbearers tapping Tributary Vaulter. And then I can double block something with Gravelgill Scoundrel plus Timid Shieldbearer, something like that. And yeah, let's buff the Scoundrel. Okay, maybe it's not even about double blocking. Oh no, it is about double blocking. Now, if they have +2 in first strike, no, they can't do that and buff their team. So if they attack, probably Gravelgill Scoundrel jumps in front of Meander's Guide, and then the Shield Bearer just can go through. It does put me pretty low. I do have a lethal attack against them, though, so they do need to do something. If they just attack and pump, they're dead on the crackback. I don't want to die to +2/+2 in first strike, so yeah, I'll block with Gravelgill Scoundrel here. And Gravelgill Scoundrel is not so important to me. I mean, he's a good friend and all, but Sig is also unblockable. And Sig makes things unblockable. Okay. So we traded, and then you have a Flittering Nuisance. Okay, that is fine. That is fine. So here, I do not flip Sig, do I? Because it's other creature you control. No, it's target creature you control. So it can give itself pro everything. And then attack for 5. Or 4, I mean. Well, 5 if I wanted to buff it, but I don't. Yeah, and then whenever they attack, the thing is I'm going to have to tap Tributary Vaulter. Oh, this is a tough situation. So actually, if I tap their Timid Shieldbearer with Tributary Vaulter, Ugh, I'm so close to lethal. They would have to pump. They would have to chump with Flitterwing Nuisance. And then I can pump to 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, do I just go for it? Basically, if they have anything, like a flash creature or something, I lose. But the idea is leave Sig unblockable, tap their Timid Shield Bearer, and then attack with 3 of my creatures. They have to chump a creature, and then I have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm going to go for it. I don't know what they have, but this is a tight enough spot. So I tap you. Did it register? Oh, what? I thought for too long. That's really, really, really bad. Apparently I thought for too long. Oh, that's so bad. Apparently I thought for too long. So I had a lethal attack. I was going to tap Timid Shieldbearer, attack with everything, and then pump everything with the Timid Shieldbearer, but I let the rope just go just barely too low. So, okay. I guess I do pump. Nah, I'd rather be able to pump on my turn on blockers to just keep stuff alive. Yeah, that's really awkward. That really makes me feel bad. I had a lethal attack. Tap their 2/2, attack with Sig. Tap their thing with the Tributary Vaulter. Then I'm coming in with a 2/2, a 2/2, and a 4/2 unblockable. You have 1 blocker, so you block 1. I pump everything with Timid Shieldbearer. This is 5 damage unblockable and 3 getting through, putting you to 0. So that's what I was trying to do, but to do all of that math and figure out what had to tap and what had to attack, it just took me like a split second too long. You even saw I actually activated the Wanderbrine Trapper, and I think I even clicked on the creature, but I think I hadn't told it to just auto pay the mana cost, and so it defaulted to just nothing happening. Really painful. Oh well. Well, what's done is done. So now we have to find a way out of this situation. If they attack, I'm just going to block with everything. No questions asked. I will just be blocking with everything. They can make it 2/2 Flitterwing Nuisance, or they can pump their team, or they can play a spell. They probably can't do multiples of those. So if they attack with everything, I'll put Trapper, and both Trappers will block Shield Bearers. My Shield Bearer will block Gravelgill Scoundrel, and Tributary Vaulter will block Flitterwing Nuisance probably. Just keep my Shield Bearer alive, because I think pushing damage really matters here, and everyone's unblockable anyways, so I definitely won't be tapping anything down, because it is basically taking 2 of my creatures to deal with 1 of their creatures. And usually in the Merfolk deck, you want to have extra creatures. I guess one thing I'm missing is the 5 mana Convoke 2/2 Vigilance that makes a token, and I'm also missing the 2/1 for 2 that makes a token. So I don't have those extra little guys, which really is what makes the Wanderbrine Trapper good. Okay, the opponent has gone to attackers. Very tight situation. This is great practice for my tournament. This is great practice. I'm glad I've seen this really tight spot before. Okay. I'll take it. +2/+2 and first strike doesn't kill me. Airdo does not kill me. You can draw a card off Flitterwing Nuisance if you want to. Nothing would make me happier than the opponent starting to dig here. All right. Are you going to tap something? Okay. Oh, letting me get through flying damage. Now that is interesting. I wonder what that means. They're going to dig? I like that a lot. Don't I have lethal damage on my counterattack? Sig is worth 5 damage. So I just need to sneak through 1 damage around the edges. All right, I take it. Okay, they did not make it more damage. That makes me feel good. Yeah, it looks like I have a lethal attack here. Even though I threw away my lethal attack next turn. Oh, maybe not. No, because they tapped on their flyer. Oh, maybe they have an answer to Sig. That would be terrible for me. If they can kill Sig, then I'm in trouble because I threw away Gravelgill Scoundrel. Yeah, okay. But it can still give something protection. So I think I still win, right? And now you're tapped out. Let me just count to make sure. So I'm going to flip Sig. Wait, is it activated abilities can't be activated? No, it's just pacifism, as I thought. Okay. So it's going to flip. I'm going to give, let's say, Wanderbrine Trapper protection from everything. Then I'll attack for 3, 4, 5, unblockable, right? And 1 in the air. And I don't think there's white instant speed, anything that matters here. Yeah, so I have lethal. Okay, so I threw away my lethal attack last turn. A little painful roping out. But hey, you know what? We just 3-0'd a traditional draft. I cannot tell you the weight off of my shoulders. Because what just happened is I got 2 play-in points. I didn't even dare to say it at the beginning of this video because I feel like I've been cursing myself. Anyone who watched me do these traditional drafts in the avatar draft era, you understand. I was grinding for play-in points for 6 drafts in a row, and I got exactly a 2-1 record. Yesterday, we had a train wreck of a draft with a Goblins deck that almost was an Elementals deck, and then we got cut, and then we scrambled, and then we managed to scrap together something that got 1 and 2, 1 win and 2 losses, and that liberated me. Now I finally can get play-in points. If I win 10 of these events, I only need to win 9 more now, then I actually get 20 play-in points, and I can play in the arena qualifier weekend without having to pay the entry fee in gems or gold. So finally, at long last, my friends, we are on the board. I am reviving my avatar era play-in points counter, and right now, I am going to up this. I'm going to up this play-in points counter to say we have 2 out of 20 play-in points. And anyone who followed me in those days, anyone who was watching my avatar draft situation, there we go, 2 out of 20 play-in points. Anyone who watched me fail to get play-in points draft after draft after draft for my 2-1 curse, you can breathe a sigh of relief. The curse is over. We broke it with a terrible Goblins deck that went 1 and 2, and now we can finally start putting play-in points on the board. So today begins my quest to get 20 play-in points and play in the Arena Championships qualifier. Thank you, everyone. Have tons of fun playing Magic, and don't be afraid to splash.